Hi, thank you for joining me again for another short and sweet session of LALA Moves. So for today's session, we just want to really feel good in our body. Okay, we're going to look inwards by focusing on our breathing. Yun naman, that's the yoga. Really listening to our body, and it starts with being more aware of our breath. So I hope that you have a sturdy chair with you, just like mine. It doesn't have wheels. And actually, I'm using a mat just to be sure that, I don't slide when I start to do the poses and demonstrate them to you. Okay. And rest comfortably on your chair, however you like it. Like me, I'm leaning into the back of my chair, and I'll just rest my palms on top of my belly. One is on top of my belly button, and another is on top of it. You can close your eyes, or you can just gaze in front of you. Softly gaze. And when you inhale, think of your belly as a balloon, and you're filling that balloon, expanding the balloon area, the belly area. And when you exhale, contract everything in. Imagine that you're pulling almost all body parts toward the center of your spine. One more inhale, big belly. Exhale, small belly. One last inhale. Exhale, small belly. Blink your eyes open. And let's just scoot to the front edge of the chair. Okay? As we inhale, let's just bring our hands up. We're just adding movement to our breathing. Exhale, bring our hands down. So as we inhale, the end of our inhales are happening as we reach our hands up. And the end of our exhale happens as our hands approach down. Okay? And we just go at your own pace, making sure that the breathing is actually leading the movement. So even if you forget like what you're doing, as long as you're breathing, it's the most important thing in yoga. We're aware of our breath. We're breathing. And exhale. Release. Now let's just do what you call the cat and cow pose. That involves, some movement in their spine. So I just do it sideways so you can see me. When you inhale, think of drawing a letter C with your spine, and that means you're exposing your entire front body. You're even, like imagine that your hip area is a wheel. You're actually moving your wheel forward, and then look up. You're creating a letter C with your spine. And then as you exhale, draw the C the other way. And you're allowing the wheel in your hips to roll the other way. You can even bring your chin toward your chest. A couple more. This is also called the the cow pose. Inhale here. And exhale to cat pose. One more. Exhale. One last, promise. Maybe when you do the cow pose, you can squeeze your shoulder blades in. Like imagine that there's a pencil in between your shoulder blades. You don't want that pencil to slide away. So as you squeeze your shoulder blades in, you can open your chest some more. And exhale. Cat pose. One last, promise, one last. Actually, this feels so yummy. Sometimes when I'm working and I have a stiff spine, I just do my cat and cow. Alright, and then from there, let's just bring our feet a little wider than our hips. Okay, making sure that we're not going to fall off the chair here because we're scooting. I scooted to the front edge of my chair. Sorry. So, we're going to fold forward. Okay, we're going to bring the head lower than the heart, and the crown will be pointing toward the ceiling. Okay, we'll do that by first leaning forward with our spine long and tall. And once you've reached your edge, okay, that means your spine is about to round. Pause and breathe. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders, relax your chest, relax your jaw. And point your crown to the floor. And that means your hands may be on top of your thighs, or on your shin, or on the floor, wherever you feel comfortable. Inhale here and exhale. Try not to bring any effort here. Just allow your lower back to round, and your shoulders, your neck, your head are so relaxed. So here we are actually in an inversion practice already. Your head is below your heart, your lungs. You're nourishing your brain cells here. And then slowly we'll unwind here. Lift your head. We're going to bring our torso to vertical, leading with our chest. So you need your hands to be on your thighs as you bring your torso up. Alright. Let's start to stand up. Let's just do some standing poses. Okay. So rest your palms on top of your chair, and then you just walk your feet to a point where you feel like your hips are on top of your ankles. And then let's just do the cat and cow. Okay? When we inhale, shoot your heart forward. You're still drawing a letter C with your spine. Your tailbone is pointing toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, go the other way. Round your back. Really use your hands to push against the chair so you can round your back some more. One more. Inhale. Cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. Now, between those two poses, we'll find the center. So our spine is long and tall. We're not in cat and cow. Then we'll go through those opposites again. Inhale to cow pose. And then passing by center, noticing where our lower back is. Noticing where our tailbone is pointing. It should be pointing to the back. When we round the spine, your tailbone is pointing down. Use your hands to push the mat away, push the chair away, really feeling the expansion in your back body. Passing by center again. Inhale to cow pose. Center, and then cat pose. And then come back to center. Now, can you transfer your hands to the backrest of your chair? And we'll just move on to what you call the downward facing dog. So here in downward facing dog, the priority is our spine. We want to feel a yummy stretch in the side body and in our lower back. So if our lower back is rounding, that's going to strain our hamstrings. At the same time, you're not maximizing the stretch. So point your tailbone to the back. Position your ears in between your upper arms. So don't trap your head. Okay. Now, for those who have tight hamstrings, you can bend your knees, but try to keep the spine long and tall here. So whether your knees are bent or they're straight, you're still in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the stretch. Feel the strengthening in your body area. Which areas you're feeling the stretch, you're feeling the effort. Just notice. And as you exhale, bring your hands back down on the chair. And let's just do that cat and cow pose again. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. In. Exhale. Just to reset, and then slowly we'll roll up. Okay, so let's just do a balancing pose next. But before we do that, the way that we hold our balance is normally dependent on how our feet, the one that's touching and grounded down on the floor or the mat, is able to feel what's touching a surface. So we'll do that by lifting the toes, all 10 toes off the mat, and notice how the knuckles, the base of your toes, are able to really press on the floor or on the mat. And then release your feet down, your toes down. One more, lift your toes up, and exhale, release your toes down. And then let's just do a couple of changing where we bring our weight. So can you transfer your weight to the balls of your feet without really lifting your heels? And then bring your weight to the heels. One more. Weight on the balls of your feet, the base of your toes. And as you exhale, come back. Now, can you find the center? Now that we've moved our feet all over, so hoping that our feet really knows how to ground down, we'll move on to the next pose, which is a balancing pose called the tree pose. Allow your feet to rest on the chair, on the seat of the chair. Okay, so also the toes will not be pointing forward, but they will be pointing to the side of the chair, while the other foot is, the toes are pointing to the front. So that means that our thighs are really opening here. Okay, try to make sure again, go back to that standing leg. Are you able to ground down through the center of your feet? Do that. Okay, and then this time, can you bring the back of your palms against the inner thigh of your foot that's on the chair? Then press the back of your palm against the inner knee. And you'll feel some toning here in your inner thighs. And then release. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Press, 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 press against each other. And then release. Do you feel the toning? You feel the effort here? One more. Inhale. And exhale. Release. Okay, now transfer your hands to the back of the thigh. And we'll do the same thing. They press against each other. Knee against the palm. And then release. 1, 2 more. This is called the isometric exercise. So we're strengthening them. We're not using weights, but you're using this effort to build strength. So here, we're actually toning the outer thigh. All right. Again, ground down through your feet. Firm your outer hip in. Feel the strength already of your bent leg here. Okay. And then maybe your hands will be on the backrest. One is on the waist. Or maybe one is on your chest area. Maybe one is overhead. Maybe both. Maybe they're here. Just choose where you want to position your hands. But breathe. And then slowly, let's unwind from this pose. Notice how one side feels different compared to the other. Of course, we'll do everything on the other side. So again, we're just being more aware of that standing leg, how that is connecting to the earth. And then rest one foot, the one that's next to the chair, on the seat of the chair, and allowing the toes to point to the side. So obviously, your hips are open here. Imagine that your thighs are rolling out and away from each other. Now rest the back of your palm against your inner thigh, inner knee. And we'll do the same thing. They press against each other. You'll feel some, I can actually feel my biceps here. And so a bit of my triceps. And then release. One more. So this one, we're just training our inner thighs to work isometrically. And then release. One last. Go against each other. Like really push them against each other with passion. And then release. We'll transfer to the other side. So here even they look very, it doesn't look obvious. But if you're doing the effort, we're actually able to access small muscles that make that awaken those muscles and make us aware of them. Whew, I felt that here. One last. Press, press, press against each other. And then release. Whew, now, ground down through that standing leg. Okay. And then firm your outer hip in. Now, decide where you want to position your hands. Maybe here, 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 or here. Your choice. Try not to go for that pose that makes you look good. Try to go for that pose that makes you feel good. The one that makes you more aware of your body, of what it is now, where it is now. Maybe that allows you to learn where to or how to work the areas that need attention. Whew, and then just release from that. That's actually a hip opener. Big hip opener. Okay. Now, I just extend my feet here. I'll come to the front of the chair. Okay. One foot will be here in front of the chair, and my toes will be pointing again to this side of the room. And the other, I'll scoot it to the back, but I'm going to angle my foot in. My toes are pointing in. Sorry, my thigh very active the whole time, and my feet, all corners of my feet will be planted down on the like really gripping the mat, really gripping the floor. Okay. Now, the bum of this is my front leg. The bum of my front leg, I'll be pointing that to my back heel in a while. We'll do what you call the triangle pose. Okay. It's a big stretch for some. It's a yummy stretch for the others. So let's go for that position of your hands and your feet where you feel yummy. Okay, I hope that you'll be able to find what position that is. So the front foot, you'll feel a stretch in the hamstrings here. If you feel some sensation, you can micro bend the front knee. All right. So start to your bum of your front leg. Can you point it to the back heel? So you're already leaning your torso to the front, and then rest your bottom arm on the seat of the chair. Now, can you focus your attention on your bottom shoulder first? Can you roll your bicep forward? Okay, as if you want to send it to the back, rolling it to the back. As you're also rolling your front thigh to the back. So they're both rolling to this side, to this way. Okay. And at the same time, you want to roll your top shoulder to the ceiling, an option to extend your hand up. So you can micro bend this knee, or maybe you can even adjust the stance of your feet, the distance between your 2 feet. Just do those rolling, and you're feeling a stretch, maybe along your side body. Notice. So this is not a side bend. Try to keep your bottom side body active. Then extend your hands up. Or maybe here. So just making sure that you're using the strength of your top shoulder to roll up toward the ceiling. You're rolling and stretching. Try to listen to your breath as well. You can look up, whichever feels good for your neck. You can look forward, you can look down. Last 2 breaths here. And as you exhale, top hand on your waist, bend the front knee, and we'll come back to standing position. How was that? Was that a big stretch? So I hope that you went for the version of the pose that's suited for your body. You don't have to look like me. We have different bodies. You have different levels of yumminess in the pose. So go for that one that feels good for your body today. So again, this is now our front leg. So this front leg, the toes and the knees are pointing to the side of the chair. Okay, and then my back foot will be sent to the back with my toes angled in. My back thigh is very active. I'm also pressing my feet on my weight on the outer edge of my feet. We'll start with my front leg straight like this. But again, if you feel a sensation, you can always microbend. Then we can also work with the stance of your feet. And then slowly, we'll start to tilt our torso to this side of the chair, and our front bum, point it, the sit bones in our front bum, can you point it to the back heel, and now your torso is leaning forward. Use the seat as your support. This is my tighter side. Okay, and then just roll your biceps in and toward the back, so it goes there. As much as you're rolling also the front thigh toward the back, and just go for that stretch. And then also your top shoulder, can you roll your top shoulder toward the ceiling, while again your bottom bum, the sit bone on your bottom bum, can you point it toward your back heel. So now you're in triangle pose, chair style. Option to extend your hands up, your top hand up. Keep rolling what needs to be rolled. Are you breathing? Are you listening to your breath? Are you sending some of your weight to the outer edge of your back foot? Are you pointing your front hip bones to your back heel? So many alignment points. And only as you practice this pose, once your muscles have retained the memory of it, you'll feel good about this pose. Promise. And then exhale. Let's unwind from this pose. Okay, look down, bend the front knee, and let's unwind from this pose. All right, how are you? I hope that felt good. Let's just do a forward fold. Let's face the seat of the chair. Let's just do that downward facing dog again. Okay, we'll do a downward facing dog and then a forward fold. So walk your feet to the back again until your hips are on top of your ankles. Your ears are in between your upper arms. Your tailbone is pointing to the back and not down. You're not rounding your lower back. Point your tailbone to the back. Long spine here as you breathe. And as you exhale, release your hands down on the seat of the chair. Okay? And then rest your elbow and forearms on the seat of the chair. Then point the crown of your head down to the floor. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your chest, relax your head. Inhale here. And as you exhale, let's come back to table. Just breathe here. Now let's just do some variation. Let's bring our feet a little wider than the usual, but allow the toes to just point toward the same direction as well. And then notice where your weight is. Can you find the center? Try not to bring your weight all the way to the heels or all the way to the balls, to the front of your feet. Also not to hike it up to the outer edge or a lot or it's caving in. So just find the center of your feet. And then we'll just do downward facing dog with wide legs, and notice how this feels different. Maybe you're noticing if like, oh, I like this better, or it's like, oh, my hamstrings feel weird, so I will microbend them. But keep pointing your tailbone to the back and keep breathing. Inhale. And let's unwind from this pose. Relax your forearms on the chair again. Elbows and forearms, your palms. We'll do one last forward fold here. Point the crown of your head down. If you can go deeper, you can hold the feet of the chair, but not necessary. Just go for that version where you feel like, oh, I have some opening now. This feels better, or if this feels harder. So just go to that point where you can actually relax your throat, your jaw. That's why we are using a chair, so that it can be our support. On your next breath, look up, release your hands, and just hold the sides of your chair, or rest your palms on top of the seat of the chair, and we'll heel toe your feet forward. Okay, let's just do one last cat and cow. Exhale to cow pose. Feel the stretch along your back body. Cow pose, cat pose, and cow pose. And then slowly, we'll transition back to sitting. And we'll just sit on our chair as comfortably as you can. And we'll go back to that breathing exercise, a breathing practice that we did at the start of this session. You can close your eyes or gaze softly to a spot in front of you. And go back to that pattern of breathing. Think of sending your air in and out through a long straw that allows you to deepen and lengthen your breath. Blink your eyes open. Okay. Bring your palms to the front of your chest. Thank you for sharing your energy with me again. Namaste. See you again next week. Bye. Have a nice rest of the weekend and a great week ahead.